The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Tuesday night, and the latest matchup between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Cincinnati Reds for superiority in the National League West. It's the Reds' turn to host, and it was Tommy John and the Dodgers leading the way. The Dodgers got on the board first. Reggie Smith hit an RBI double to score Davey Lopes in the top of the first. His hitting streak is now at 12. Steve Garvey would double him home. 2-0 Dodgers after one. Then Reggie Smith would pop a solo homer, his sixth of the year, and the third to make it 3-0 Dodgers. The Reds got on the board in the bottom of the fourth. George Foster doubled home Ken Griffey to make it 3-1. Then Rick Monday, a solo shot. They cringe in Montreal. After 6, LA 4, Cincinnati 1. The Reds load the bases in the sixth, cannot score. The Dodgers go up 5-1 in the eighth. Dusty Baker doubled home Steve Garvey, 5-1 Dodgers. But then the Reds got warm. George Foster hits an RBI, fielder's choice, 5-2. And in the ninth, they score 2 runs on 4 hits. Junior Kennedy and Dave Collins with singles to make it 5-4. But the Dodgers bullpen slammed the door. Terry Forster, despite the rough inning, gets the save. Tommy John goes to 2-1. Tom Hume goes back to the bullpen. It's the Dodgers and the Reds next on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball 1978 replay. Today, from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, it is the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers from April 26, 1978. The Dodgers are 10-6. The Reds are a week 8-9. And today's game brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best podcast on the web for your sports simulations and replay needs. Check us out today on Spreaker, on Spotify and iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. It's a chilly 62 degrees as we get set for a full lunchtime of baseball here on the channel. I'm Ron Jucka. A windy day at Riverfront, in at 62 degrees. It's Tom Seaver looking for a second win of the year against Doug Rao of the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers are 10-6 in first place after 16 games in the National League West. The Cincinnati Reds, well, no one's really come out and run away with everything yet, but they're only 8-9. If they're going to make a race of it, they've got to stay close to the Dodgers. Now, the advantage for the Reds is, depending on what verbiage you want to use, is these two teams will play a total of 18 times over the course of the season, and so Cincinnati will have plenty of chances to stay close to the Dodgers, which is why it's so important for the Dodgers to win these games. When we had them last week, it was Tommy John picking up the win. Tommy John got the win last night. He goes to 2-1. So without further ado, it's the Dodgers and Reds on a chilly, windy night in Cincinnati. And Tommy Seaver taking his warm-up tosses. And Lorenzo says, "Holy mackerel, you scared me. I was deep into my college game, Nebraska and Purdue, when your scream startled me. My intro scream startled me." You know, you're supposed to start these things with energy. Speaking of energy, Tom Seaver comes into this one with a 1-1 record and a 1.78 ERA. Come on, you're supposed to. Here we go. Seaver, a fastball, fly ball pitcher, is making his 5th start of the 1978 season. He has not faced the Dodgers this year. He has faced San Francisco and he has faced Houston. 5 days ago, he went 6 2/3 innings and a loss to San Francisco. 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 5 and struck out 7. So overall, 1-1 with a 1.78 ERA, 30 1/3 innings, 24 hits, a homer, 7 runs, 6 earned. He has walked 13, which is a lot, and struck out 28. And Lorenzo tells me, and I knew this, that George Thomas Seaver was born in Fresno, California, a local hero. I also pitched for the University of Southern California, if my memory is there. So for Lorenzo and for DJ John, Mr. Marichich, Tom Seaver, a California boy through and through, and a proud owner of a vineyard up your way. Here's the lineup. Yep, here's the lineup that he will face this afternoon. Davey Lopes leads off at second base. Billy Russell is a shortstop. He'll bat second. Reggie Smith, who's having a monster start to the year, will play right and bat third. Ron Say the Penguin and cleans up at third. Steve Garvey brushes his hair at first. He'll bat fifth. Dusty Baker is in left. He'll bat sixth. Rick Monday, the center fielder, bats seventh. Turned out his home run was a big deal last night. Steve Yeager, coming back down to earth, will catch him and bat eighth. And the lefty Doug Rao is on the mound for the Dodgers and will bat ninth. Defensively for the Reds, George Foster is a 5-5 in left. Cesar Geronimo is a 9-5 in center. Ken Griffey is a 7-8 in right. Pete Rose is a 4 at third. Davey Concepcion is playing this game. We didn't have him last week. He's a 9 at short. Joe Morgan, a 9 at second. Dan Dreesen, an 8 at first. And the versatile Johnny Bench, a 9 and an 8 behind the plate. Seaver's done taking his warm-up tosses. Lopes at 318. No homers and 3 RBI. And so Seaver on the hill. Lopes flies this one to right field. Griffey, 1 away. So that's what Seaver wanted. Brings up Billy Russell at 188. No homers and 5 RBI. First to 3 games this week. The tape game you'll see on YouTube on Thursday, and the next live Twitch game will be Thursday at noon. Pitch to Russell, and there's a liner in the left center field, and that's a base hit. And so Russell's on first hit of the ball game for anybody. And that brings up Reggie Smith, 333, 6 homers, and 17 RBI. If you missed it, it's now up on YouTube. We have the NFC wildcard game between Dallas and Minnesota. And it's a relatively entertaining football game. Worth checking out if you haven't already. The AFC divisional game between Seattle and Cleveland will be Sunday at noon Eastern. And remember, noon Eastern is 9 Pacific. So Reggie Smith, that's 12-game hitting streak, 333, 6 homers, and 17 RBI. Seaver deals, and Smith hits a ground ball to Morgan. They might get 2. Concepcion for 1 over to Dreesen, and I believe they have. Yes, they have. No runs, a hit, nobody left, no errors. Half an inning in the books. Dodgers, nothing. Here come the Reds. And Doug Rao is going to try not to have a row. This will be his 3rd start of the year. He is 1-0 with an ERA of Henry Aaron, or a 7.15. Both of his starts have come against the Houston Astros. And I'm assuming the start on the 20th came at the Astrodome. No, I would say that would have been in Los Angeles. 4 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. And so the summary after 11 1/3 innings, 15 hits, 9 runs, 1 homer. All of those runs are earned. 6 walks and 8 strikeouts. He is a fastball pitcher, and I say that kind of loosely because he tosses it at 87 miles an hour. Neutral on the ground balls and the fly balls. The lineup that he will face: Pete Rose will lead off and play third. Ken Griffey is in right. He'll bat second. Joe Morgan will bat third at second. George Foster cleans up in left. Johnny Bench behind the plate will bat fifth. Dave Concepcion, the shortstop, will bat 6th. Dan Dreesen, the first baseman, will bat 7th. Against the lefty, Cesar Geronimo is also... There's 4 lefties in the lineup today for Sparky Anderson. Cesar Geronimo in center will bat 8th, and George Thomas Seaver. I don't think I've ever intentionally called him George before. Tom Seaver will threw 12 pitches in the first and will bat 9th. Defensively for the Dodgers, Dusty Baker a 7-4 in left. Rick Monday a 4-3 in center. Reggie Smith a 5-8 in right. Ron Say a 7 at third. Bill Russell an 8 at short. Davey Lopes a 10 at second. Steve Garvey a 9 at first. And Steve Yeager a 7 and an 8 behind the plate. Rose at 314, a homer, and 8 RBI. And I'll tell you how, Lorenzo, in a moment, how I figured out to do the noon Eastern, 9 Pacific thing. Besides you, because we know that you are time zone challenged. Pitch to Rose is a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Pass and diving Lopes. And the Reds have a runner on to start the game. Brings up Ken Griffey Jr. 246, 2 triples, no homers, and 3 RBI. Rose not a threat to steal. Doug Rauch takes a look at him from the stretch. Throws to first, and Rose is back. Griffey has 5 stolen bases himself. Rao delivers. Ball 4, not the start the Dodgers wanted. So Rose on second, Griffey on first for Joe Morgan. I think, is that Joe's 75 card in the picture? I think a lot of these were 75 cards. Joe scuffling a bit, 222, a homer, and 9 RBI. Nobody out. Bottom of the first, just the start of things here at Riverfront on a cool night. Rose at second, Griffey at first. Rao delivers, and Morgan ground ball to Russell, probably 2. Lopes for 1. They've got time over to Garvey, and that will be 2. And so Rose moves on to third, and Morgan reminds people again that the Reds won the 75 series. Here's George Foster at 243, 3 homers and 9 RBI. He has struck out, by the way, in his first 70 at-bats. He has struck out 25 times. That's a lot. Adam Dunn looks at that and goes, man, you strike out a lot. 2 out, runner on third, no score. Rouse pitch, Foster lines that one all the way to the wall in left field. Baker goes back, Foster's gunning for third. The run will score, and it's 1-0 Cincinnati. So Foster slides into third easily with a triple. And the double play started to run, but the Reds get on the board first, 1-0. And as we tell you about Johnny Bench, 313, 3 homers, and 8 RBI. Let's give you the standings as we start our weekly baseball rendezvous. The Dodgers have a half-game lead over the Padres at 9-6. They've won 3 straight. Cincinnati 2.5 back, tied with Atlanta in the game's back column. Then followed by Houston and San Francisco. In the East, Pittsburgh up by a game over Montreal, 9-6. The Cubs are 2.5. Philadelphia, the Mets sliding back down to earth. And the Cardinals are hoping it's golf season already. California and Minnesota. California 11-5. That's a number you don't see. And they're a half game behind the Twins, who are 13-6. Kansas City, Chicago, and Texas all kind of settling in for the long ride around the park. In the American League East, the Yankees have lost 5 straight. We thought they were going to win easy. No, the Red Sox are in first. They're 10-6. Then New York, Milwaukee, and Baltimore, Toronto, and Cleveland, which means that the team you can't see are the Detroit Tigers. And the Reds, by the way, have already played 3 extra inning games and are 3-0. So Foster on third, 2 out for Bench. Rao delivers, and Johnny slaps that one into left field, and it's 2-0 Cincinnati. So Doug Rao having a row with himself. Here's Concepcion, 224, a homer already, and 4 RBI. Bench on first. He's not a threat to steal. Concepcion, ground ball up the middle for a base hit. And Bench will go all the way to third, and that's the 4th hit for Cincinnati. So Tommy Lasorda puts down the slim fast and has to look around. Dan Dreesen, 288, 2 homers, and 9 RBI. Pitch to Dreesen, struck him out. So he went right down Broadway on a 2-2 fastball for strike 3. But the Reds get 2 runs on 4 hits and no errors. After 1, Cincinnati 2, the Dodgers nothing. So Seaver faced 3 batters. He got a double play out of Reggie Smith. He'll face Say, Garvey, and Baker here in the second. Ron at 286, a homer and 6 RBI. Seaver deals, and Say slams this one deep to left, but Fosters goes over and makes the catch for the out, 1 away. I got a million of them, Lorenzo. Steve Garvey. Anybody who gets Yuppie beat up is not a friend of mine. Garvey at 328, 3 homers and 16 RBI. So a good start. Good start for Garvey. Seaver goes, and Garvey hits a ground ball to Concepcion deep in the hole over to Dreesen, and that is an out, 2 away. So Seaver cooking so far. Here's Dusty Baker, 259, 3 homers and 9 RBI. Good start for Dusty. You know, the newest manager of the Houston Astros, and of course, the Astros and Nationals trained together in West Palm Beach. And so Dusty's first game back as an active Major League manager, of course it won't count, it's an exhibition game, will be against the Washington Nationals. Pitch from Seaver. Baker strikes out. He got him looking. A foul, full count, fastball, strike 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Inning and a half in the books. Cincinnati 2, Los Angeles nothing. So Geronimo, Seaver, and Rose to face Rao in the second. Geronimo at 220, a homer and 5 RBI. Rao from the wind. Ground ball to Lopes. That was hit hard, but right at Davey, and he throws to first, and there's 1 out for Seaver. Mr. Seaver 1 for 8, 125. He has struck out 3 times and scored. So Rao gets a breather here in the lineup, he hopes. Pitch to Seaver. Ball 4. Announcer's jinx. So the 3-1 was just low and just inside, but low nonetheless. And so Seaver's on with a 1-out walk. So Rao, through 9 batters, 38 pitches, an inning and a third, 4 hits, a sneeze, 2 walks and a strikeout. Rose singled and scored and sneezed before a second time up. Excuse me. Seaver obviously not a threat to steal, wearing the jacket at first. Pitch from Rao, and Rose sends this one into left field. Baker in the left center will make the catch for the out. 2 out for Griffey, and Ken walked his first time up. 61 degrees. If you're wondering what Riverfront does, one of these cookie-cutter ballparks, against lefties, it's not your friend. Lefties hit 6% less than league average and 1% less in the home run department. But the winds must be prevailing into left field, because the right-handed batters' averages are quite good. 8% higher in average and 19% above average in home runs. Pitch to Griffey. Ground ball up the middle, right back to Rao, who drops it, picks it up, throws to first, and retires Griffey. No runs, no hits, no errors. They strand at least 1 after 2. It's 2-0 Reds. And so we are now on this channel over 700 views all time. Thank you for that. Rick Monday at 2:04, 3 homers and 10 RBI, hit his third in the Tuesday night game. Seaver delivers, and there's a fly ball to right. Griffey will come in and make the catch for the first out. Yvonne Time Travel from Time Travel Baseball is our latest follower. He followed Sunday afternoon before the football game. And the other recent followers, if you're just with us, CJ Topher and Russ WG 1970. And Lorenzo is our latest sub. If you have a Twitch Prime account and have not used it, what are you waiting for? You can sub and not have to pay for it. And it helps me out a great deal. Yeager, I gave you the numbers are 3 homers and 48 at-bats. I don't think I did. 229, 3 homers and 9 RBI. Pitch from Seaver. Yeager goes down by way of the K. He swung on and missed an 0-2 fastball at 89 for the second out. And that brings up Doug Rao, who was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. A 143 hitter on the real year with 5 RBI. 2 out, top the third. Rao, opposite field in the left. Foster's there to make the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2.5 down. Reds 2, Dodgers nothing. Joe Morgan grounded into a double play. And then the Reds scored 2. 2-0 Cincy as we start the bottom of the third. Pitch from Rao. That's a little nubber. Lopes well in front of the bag at second on the turf. Throws to first for the out. Lorenzo, what'd you think of the football game Sunday? Not the one I did, but the real one. George Foster, by the way, tripled his first time up. He's got 2 on the year. Drove in Rose and scored himself. Rao's pitch into center Monday for the out. I thought the game was pretty good. Especially since I'm a whiner hater. I bet you really appreciated that. No, that was a good game. If on Dave Gardner's or Ratcast, as you see him here on Twitch channel, he and I did a special an hour version of Digital Dice to talk about the game and how to sim it and how Patrick Mahomes is tough to get right on the tabletop because that particular engine I used for my pre-play just didn't handle him being able to scramble. Johnny Bench, speaking of scrambling, singled and drove in a run his first time up. Pitch from Rao is a ground ball, a line drive into left field for a base hit. He's going for 2. The throw from Baker to Lopes is not in time. And so Bench has the 5th hit, and that's a double. That brings up Concepcion, who singled his first time up. So the Reds have Bench in scoring position, 2 out, bottom of the third. For Concepcion. And for Rao, that's the 5th hit he's allowed. Here's the pitch. Got him! Rao got him to look at a 1-2 changeup for strike 3. So the Reds leave another one on. That's 4. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 3, Cincinnati 2, the Dodgers nothing. Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, and Reggie Smith to face Mr. Seaver here in the 4th. Tom Seaver has thrown 32 pitches through 9 batters. 3 hits. 1 hit. And Reggie Smith erased that hit with a double play and has struck out 2. Lopes is 0 for 1. Dreesen and Rose come in to play the bunt. Seaver deals. Lopes swings. Ground ball to Morgan in front of the bag. Over to first. In time for the out, 1 away. So Bill Russell, who's hitting 200 on the year, has the lone hit for the Dodgers in this game. And the wind is really howling in now. You see 19 miles an hour, and the temperature has dropped to 57. Pitch from Seaver. Russell strikes out. He got him on a 1-2 fastball at 93, looking. And Seaver just put a little bit of extra on there, and you can see the extra dirt on his knee. So here's Reggie Smith. He's grounded into a double play. He's 0 for 1. This is why the Reds got him, and Seaver is delivering this afternoon. Here's the pitch. Here's a fly ball to right. Griffey has it to retire the side on the track. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 3.5 at Cincinnati 2. The Dodgers nothing. So Garvey and Say will play in as we do Dreesen, Geronimo, and Seaver to face Rao in the bottom of the 4th. Dreesen's swinging. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Pitch from Rao into left center. Back goes Monday. He's going to run and dive and make the catch. He had to get his footing on the warning track. It's not cinder. It's a different substance than the turf, but it's not a dirt surface out there. And so Monday had to take a few steps to catch himself. Here's Geronimo. Caesar's 0 for 1. By the way, if you watched the last live stream, I looked it up. How do I pronounce that outfielder for Milwaukee? Heisel. That's the baseball reference pronunciation. Heisel. And thanks to Mark Forsberg for adding what he thought it was, which was pretty close. But now you know. So when you think of Larry Heisel, think of a battery. Pitch from Rao. Geronimo slaps that one in front of Reggie Smith, and that's a base hit, 2-out single, or 1-out single. And now Tom Seaver is in the position where he's going to bunt. Yeager and Garvey come in and throw to first, and Geronimo's back. That's new. Goes home. Seaver drops down the bunt. Yeager's only play is to first. Lopes covering. Seaver is retired. And there's 2 out. 2-4 on the card. Here's Rose. Rao threw 66 pitches. 3 2/3 innings. 6 hits, 2 runs, all earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. Rose has singled and scored to start the ball game. He's 1 for 2. Rao delivers, and Rose draws ball 4. Payoff pitch in just below the knees, and Rao brings up Ken Griffey. He has walked. He's 0 for 1. Pitch from Rao. Griffey slaps that one past Garvey in the hole. Lopes should have had it. Geronimo rounds second and scores. Smith throws it in, and it's 3-0 Reds. So a big RBI for Griffey. Rose goes to third, and Joe Morgan comes up to the plate 0 for 2 and grounded into a double play. This isn't Chutes and Ladders. No, it's Monopoly with my rules. You would think the lefty-lefty matchup would favor Rao, but look at that split. 372 against lefty hitters. That's why Sparky has 4 in the lineup. Pitch to Morgan is a fly ball in a shallow right center. Monday comes in to retire the side, but the Reds get 1 more on 2 hits. They leave 2. They've traded 6. Where is this? 1982 Red Sox? Cincinnati 3, Los Angeles nothing. So say Garvey and Baker to face Seaver here in the 5th. And Lorenzo laments, as a long-suffering Dodger fan, sometimes it seems like they are playing Chutes and Ladders. But then again, those Astros are cheaters. It's what they get for getting their dinner out of a garbage can. They're a stray cat strut. Say is 0 for 1. Pitch from Seaver, and Say bloops that one into left field in front of Foster. Ratcast always likes those artificial turf fields. Say's on with a single second hit for the Dodgers. And so Dave and Richie Allen are at odds here because Dick Allen, of course, said, if I can't smoke it, I don't want to play on it. Garvey's 0 for 1. Lorenzo hoping the Dodgers can get something going here. Seaver's been magnificent. Snap throw to first, and Say is back. Pitches a ball. Seaver goes home. Garvey laces that one to left, but right into the waiting glove of George Foster. 1 out. Dusty Baker has struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Seaver. Pitch. Line drive, left field, all the way past Rose. Say will round third and hold. Baker's got himself a double. Rose, who is not a good third baseman, dove for it, but he dove late, and Foster had to go get it. And that'll bring up Rick Monday, who's 0 for 1. Seaver shoots Rose a look, and then pitches to Monday. Got him! He swung on and missed a 1-2 fastball. That's 4 for Seaver, and there's 2 out. So Seaver trying to slam the door, and he's got Steve Yeager, who has struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Yeager goes down by way of the K. A late called strike 3. Yeager turns his head and shakes it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Dodgers strand 2. Halfway home, it's the Reds 3, the Dodgers nothing. And on Twitch, we'll see you in 30 seconds. Well, my timer says I can talk now. Doug Rao, 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned. You can say what you want, Lorenzo. Doesn't mean I have to read it out loud. 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Seaver, 5 Ks through 5 with 3 hits. And if you're wondering about the batting, bench 2 for 2. Russell, Say, and Baker, 1 hit apiece. And as the Dodger fans vent and babble, it'll be Foster, Bench, and Concepcion here in the bottom of the 5th. Foster tripled his second of the year, 1 for 2. Drove in a run and scored 1. Pitch to George, and there's a little looper in the left center field, and Foster's got himself a single. Foster's going for 2. The throw to Lopes, not in time. So Monday and Baker, I think, just kind of took too much time, and Foster slowed down rounding first and realized he had a chance. Neither Baker or Monday have a decent arm, and Foster has the 8th Reds hit. And if Lorenzo's babbling now, what's going to happen when the Dodgers start playing for real? Johnny Bench is 2 for 2. He is singled, doubled, and driven in a run. I see, Lorenzo typing, lackadaisical attitude out there. Go figure. And I'm always struck by that preseason game between the Packers and the Rams back in the 60s, where they put a wireless mic on Vince Lombardi. All sorts of grabbing out there. No tackling. That sort of thing. We just woke up Lorenzo again. Pitch to Bench is popped up left side. Say and Russell. Say calls for it. Has it for the first out. Concepcion is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Reds have stranded 6. It has not come back to haunt them yet, while the Dodgers have left 2 on. Rao deals to Concepcion. Line drive past Garvey. Foster will score, and it's 4-0 Reds. Lorenzo carefully rethinking his subscription to the channel. 9th hit for the Reds. Here's Dan Dreesen. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. This one's been all Cincy. The wind is now a gale. 26 miles an hour in from right center. Ron is a mind reader. We don't make teams win. We certainly can help them lose, but we don't make teams win. Pitch to Dreesen. There's a ground ball to Russell. There's going to Lopes for one, and no throw to Garvey. So they get the second out, but not the third, and then I'll bring up Geronimo. Caesar is 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run. Not over yet, not by a long shot, but Doug Rao has not covered himself in glory. Or even a package of Farmer John Dodger dogs. Throw to first, Dreesen back. Worst comes to worst, we'll just send Doug down to Worthington Ford near Anaheim, and he can pick out his choice of an ostrich or a Dachshund. Pitch to Geronimo is a line drive to Lopes. He makes the catch, and that will retire the side. A run, the fourth for Cincinnati on 2 hits and no errors. After 5, it's the Reds 4, the Dodgers nothing. So the Dodgers got to Seaver a touch in the 5th. It'll be around maybe 0 for 1. Game over, man. Then Lopes and Russell. Not over yet. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? No. See, again, this is the stuff you don't get on your average Fortnite stream. Pitch to Rao is 0 for 1. Ground ball to Rose. Across the way to Dreesen for the out. So Rao, who is only at 90 pitches, will stay in the game. Seaver 67 through 18 batters, 5 in the 3rd innings, 3 hits, and 5 strikeouts. Lopes is 0 for 2. Pitch from Seaver. Lopes into left center, right center. Geronimo goes back for the out. I'm getting an admonishment from a sponsor by saying, "Don't sully my stream mentioning that game, Ron." Okay. Billy Russell is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Hitting 197 now on the year. 2 out, top the 6th. Seaver delivers, and Russell pops this one into right. Griffey comes in, makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 5.5 down, 4-0 Reds. Brings up Tom Seaver, who walked and bunted. So let's see if Rao can get Seaver retired the old-fashioned way by making contact for an out. Nope. Line drive, base hit, right field. Seaver's going for 2. The throw to Russell is not in time. So Seaver has walked and doubled, and that's the 10th hit. And, you don't have to be a mind reader to know that there's someone in the Fresno area at this very moment, 9:38 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, saying the words garble farble. Rose is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and scored. Lorenzo says, I'm playing some action PC college football as he watches me. Does life get any better than this if you're a sports fan? I don't think so. Maybe for Doug Rao after 27 batters, 92 pitches, 5 innings, 10 hits. 4 runs all earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 2. And his ERA for the game is 7.20. Pitch to Rose. Little nubber. Russell looks Seaver back to the bag at second, throws to first for the out. And Seaver goes to third. So 1 out for Griffey. They're not going to bunt. They're playing them at the corners. Griffey has singled, walked, and driven in a run. 4-0 Reds, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Cincy is stranded 7, Los Angeles 2. Pitch from Rao. Griffey into left center for a base hit. Ron Say, I blame that one on where he was positioned. He had a tough play to go back to cut that one off, and that's a single. So that's the 11th hit for the Reds in the 5th run. And then I'll bring up Joe Morgan, who is 0 for 3. Morgan and Dreesen are the only 2 Reds players. How you doing, Sean? Good to have you along. Thanks for stopping in. Griffey and Dreesen are the Morgan and Dreesen are the only two Reds players not to have a hit. Rao throws to first. Griffey back. 5-0 Reds. Bottom of the 6th. Pitch from Rao to Morgan. There's a ground ball. Russell only play is to first to Garvey. Doing pretty well, and Morgan is retired on the bang banger. So Griffey goes to second. That's 2 out. For George Foster, who has a legitimate triple and pretty much stole a double. He's 2 for 3. He has scored both times that he's reached. Reds have 2 in the first, and Singleton's in the 4th, 5th, and so far here in the 6th. And they're going to walk Foster for Johnny Bench. This has not been a well-managed game for Lasorda. Johnny is 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, and driven in a run. They won in the game we had last week, Lorenzo. Yeager and Rao go to have a few words. You going to Skyline after? No. Bench, fly ball opposite field. Left side, Baker going back. That's gone. And so the Reds have kind of popped this one open. And Mike Give a Garmin is coming into pitch. Rao's day is done, and that'll do. We had a pitching change. This game coming to you from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. So Mike Garmin, who will be with the Dodgers through May 19th, get your tickets now, making a 6th appearance for the Dodgers. He pitched 4 innings on the 20th. 2 hits and a walk. He has no record. A 1.04 ERA, 8 2/3 innings, 6 hits, a run it was earned, and has walked 3. And he stays in the game in the 9 spot, so with 50 pitches. Lasorda's going to use him for a while. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors, 7 left on for Cincy. Dodgers have 3 hits and left 2 on. Concepcion's 2 for 3. Singled twice, struck out, and drove in a run. Ground ball to third. Say over to Garvey on a bang banger. Concepcion is out. They got him, and the Reds get a lot. 4 runs on 3 hits. Makes Tommy Seaver's day look pretty easy now. Oh, Zacchini. I wish I could. Can I? Oh, dear. Nope. Where can I? That's a ban. Yay! And that's our first ban user. Reggie Smith is 0 for 2, grounded into a double play. Has a 12-game hitting streak. We didn't even boot the Monopoly guy. Hitting the big time now. I got my first Twitch troll. Remember. Da, da, da. All right. The time of my life. Can't even play it because I can't upload it to YouTube after. Seaver delivers to Smith. Struck him out. He swung on and missed a 2-2 pitch. And that's 6 for Tom. Say is 1 for 2. 1 out. Pitch from Seaver. Say right back to Tom. Over to Dreesen for the out. Can you imagine if that would be your job? To go into people's streams, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, and to spam links. Here's Garvey. He's 0 for 2. I know a lot of it is done by bot. But still, imagine that. Imagine that's your job. Seaver deals. Got him! On a 1-2 pitch, he swung on and missed. Stretch time, 8-0 Reds. I think they sleep just fine, thanks. Here's Dreesen. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So Seaver having himself a good afternoon. Garmin will face Dreesen, Concepcion, and Seaver. Tommy working on a 3-hitter here in the 7th. Dreesen to face Garmin, and Danny sends this one into high in the center field. Monday's there. 2 out, or 1 out. Got me all combobulated. Cesar Geronimo has himself a single. 1 for 3 with a run scored. It's important to get your ad onto someone else's stream for sure, especially to buy Twitch followers. I'm sure. How you doing, Tribe fan? Tribe is a legitimate user and would never be banned. Pitch to Geronimo is a fly ball to right. Reggie Smith comes in, makes the catch, 2 away. 8-0 Reds in the bottom of the 7th. And Seaver had a field day off with Charlie Lau, kind of like Giselle's Caro and all that. He walked and doubled and then a sacrifice bunt. Garmin delivers, and Seaver sends this one into left. Baker comes in to make the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Cincinnati 8, Los Angeles nothing as we go to the 8th. I miss the guy who... No, Tribe is in Ohio. DJ John is in Metro Los Angeles. Dusty Baker's in Houston. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. Seaver deals. Baker strikes out. That's 8. A 1-2 fastball at 90, and Baker watched it for strike 3. I suppose, unless something strange happens here, 52 degrees, and that wind is howling in from right center at 24. That Tom Seaver is going to be our digital dice player of the game. 7 1/3 shutout innings, 3 hits, and 8 strikeouts. Pitch to Monday, who's 0 for 2. Line drive to right. Griffey's there for the out. Texas Leaguer, that was going to try to find some real estate, and Griffey said no. Here's Yeager. Seaver has gotten Yeager to strike out twice. Seaver was a talent for sure. Such a shame about his dementia. And Yeager, ground ball to Morgan, over to Dreesen, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 7.5 in the books. What a ball game by Tom Terrific. 8-0 Reds. And people are going to go, Tom Terrific, is Tom Brady playing in this game? Yes. Infant Tom Brady is pitching for the Reds. Pete Rose, 1 for 3. This will be Garmin's last inning of work either way because he's due to start the 9th at the plate. Rose 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, and scored. And Pete, it's a ground ball to short. Russell over to Garvey for the out. The original Tom Terrific, other than the cartoon character that is. That was a bit before my time, but you are right. Ken Griffey is 2 for 3. He has singled, twice, driven in 2, walked, and scored once. Pitch to Griffey. There's a line drive to right center. Monday's there, and that's 2 out. And again, Joe Morgan and Dan Dreesen are the only Reds not to reach on a hit. Morgan is 0 for 4. He grounded into a double play. And Lorenzo's telling me that cartoon was unique. I bet the 60s were a weird time, man. Pitch to Joe Morgan. Fly ball right field. And Smith is there to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Seaver going for the shutout. After 8-0 Reds. So Garman won't bat. He actually did strike out in his one replay appearance. But Lee Lacy, Sic Transit Gloria Monday. Okay. I don't know why he's listed here as Leon. It really is Lee Lacy. 2 for 7 on the year. 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. Seaver should be able to complete the 9th easily. And Lacy sends this one deep to left. Back goes Foster in the corner. 1 out. So Davey Lopes is 0 for 3. Seaver threw 27 batters. Just to tell you how good that is. He hit the 27 batter mark with 1 out in the 9th. 106 pitches. 3 hits. And 8 strikeouts. That's it. Lopes is 0 for 3. Seaver deals. Davey into center. Geronimo, 2 out. And the last chance saloon for the Dodgers is Bill Russell, who was 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. We'll do the rest of the day in baseball as soon as we're done here. Seaver deals. Fly ball left field. Foster coming in, and that will do it. Tom Seaver has 3 hit the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Reds win an easy one, 3-0. So the Reds go to 9-9 on the year. The Dodgers go to 10-7. Johnny Bench 3 for 4 with 4 RBI. But Tom Seaver 9 innings, 3 hits, and 8 strikeouts. He's your player of the game. He's your digital dice player of the game. Rao, by the way, 5 2/3, 12 hits, 8 runs, all earned. The homer to somebody. He walked forward, struck out 2. Garman 2 1/3. He retired all 7 men he faced. The Dodgers' ERA is 4.17. The Reds is 3.12. So we got a take game for you. That I'll do tomorrow, but let's go through the rest of the day in baseball. Thanks, Lorenzo. St. Louis beats Montreal 6-2. John Denny with the second win of the year. Philadelphia 4. The Cubbies 1. Steve Carlton goes to 4-0 on the year. White Sox beat the Tigers. Not a good start for the Tigers. Jack Morris takes the loss. Wilbur Wood gets the win. He goes to 2-1. Steve Carlton, by the way, didn't throw a shutout, but he's the one that shut down the Cubs. And Wilbur Wood, in his win against the Tigers, 7 2/3 innings of 3-hit baseball. San Francisco shuts down Atlanta 6-0. Bob Nepper with the win. I don't see any notes there. Mets shut out Pittsburgh 5-0. Craig Swan goes to 3-1. Toronto 3, Kansas City 2. Tom Murphy goes to 1-0. Paul Splittorff starts at 0-4, and the Royals are 8-7. Houston, J.R. Richards strikes out 10 over 7 2/3. Joe Sambito picks up the win, 6-5 Astros. Texas 4, Cleveland 1. Doyle Alexander goes to 3-1 on the year. Milwaukee shuts down Boston 6-0. Mike Caldwell, 2 hits over 7 1/3 and 6 strikeouts. High sell, his 7th of the year. Mariners stun the Angels 11-3. Dick Pole, my favorite name in sports ever, gets the win. Oakland beats Minnesota 8-3. Next game on the channel, San Diego and Philadelphia. That's your taped game. And your Thursday's live game, the Yankees and the Twins. Wow! And before we say thank you and so long, Lorenzo says he just had a wild 95-87 Ohio win over North Texas in college football. How many overtimes was that game? That's nuts. So as we leave you, you can say Rusty Kuntz, but you can't give me a link on where to buy followers. Oh my God, 87 after regulation? Holy Snickers. So here are the standings as you see them. So Philadelphia, you'll see on tape on Thursday, the next live game, which is Thursday, the Yankees and the first place Minnesota Twins. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. We'll talk to you the next time.